Smooth minimum. What is it? How can it be used, and how do you make it? Let's find out. All right, so let's say that we're building some piece of art with mathematics and we want to use functions to define a certain shape. So now what we could do is we could say, let's say we take the square root of x, that's one of our functions, and now let's say we want to carve a piece out of that function. So we could use a second function for that. Let's say 2 minus x squared. And now I could try to carve this function out of the purple function by just taking the minimum of a and b, right? So now I have a function with a byte taken out of it. And that's all great, but there's one potential problem with that, which is that it has sharp edges. Okay, so wouldn't it be nice if you had a function that goes over here, and then as soon as it gets close to the corner there, it starts rounding off the corner. And the same thing over here, is as soon as it gets here, it starts rounding off that corner. So that is what a smooth minimum can do. So let's build that. And now, before I build that, let's make something else. Let's make a function that can interpolate between the purple and the black function. So the way to do that is I could say k times a plus 1 minus k times b. And then I make my slider k, and I set it from 0 to 1. And maybe you've already noticed it, but this is the linear interpolation function. If you haven't seen it before, check out this video. I'm explaining that there. So now, if I move my slider here, watch what happens. So now it interpolates between the black and the purple function. So that's already pretty cool. But we can use this interpolation to do the same thing as what this min function is doing. Because if we can make it so that this k value is 1 in this interval from here to here, and then from here to here it goes to 0, and then from here onwards it goes back to 1, right? So let's say it's at 1, and then over here it snaps to 0, and then over here it snaps back to 1. If I do that, then I would essentially have the same as the minimum function over here, right? So let's try to make that. So what we need is a function for this k. So instead of a slider, I'm going to put that into a function. So we need a function that is 1 on this interval, and then 0, and then 1. Okay. So now how I'm going to do that is I'm going to take my function b, and I'm going to subtract my function a from it. And let's see what that does. So that gives me another function that is 0 every time that my a and b are the same, which makes sense, right? Because if a and b are the same, then this would be 0. Same way over here. When a and b are the same, then my red function crosses 0 there. But what I would want is, like, when a and b are the same, ideally what I would want is I would want my k to be at 0.5, right? Like somewhere like right in between. So, well, that's simple enough to do because I can just add 0.5 to this. So add 0.5. And now wherever the black and the blue line are the same, my red line is at 0.5. Same way over here at 0.5. If I go up, my black and my blue are the same. But now we wanted the function that goes between 1 and 0. So let's clamp this value to 1 and 0. So the way I do that is I can say, to clamp it on the top end, I can say, well, take the minimum of 1 and my function. So that means that if this function is larger than 1, it will take 1 because it will take the minimum of those two values. And the same way I can clamp it on the bottom side by saying take the maximum of 0 and that. All right, so now I have a function that is 1 in this interval and then in this interval it goes to 0, and then in this interval it's back to 1. So let's see what that does. So let me call this, actually let me call it h, and then let me just change over here where I use the k for the slider. I'm just gonna rename that to h. And something interesting happened here. So now we have, if I turn these other ones off, so now we have something that is trying to be a smooth minimum already, right? It's just that it has some kinks in it that aren't so pretty. So let's try to get rid of those. Because it's trying to go through the intersection. And really, it should go lower than the intersection, because over here, it should just start tapering off downwards and then go over there. So what we need is another number that is 0 over here. It's 0 over here, and between this interval, it goes from 0 up a little bit and then it goes back down. So what can I do for that function? So let me call that function, what letter do we have available? Let's say m, and my function m is 0 where this happens, right? So over here. Let me actually turn this one back on. So basically it should be 0 over here and it should be 0 over here. Well, one function that's already 0 over here is this h, right? Because the h is 0 over there. So I can use h, and then, but I also want it to be 0 where h is 1. Well, I can just do that by multiplying this by 1 minus h. Because if h equals 1, then 1 minus 1 is 0, right? So that will give me a function that is 0 over there at the start, and then it starts going up, and then it's back 0 over there where it shouldn't subtract anything. So now if we subtract this m value from our thing here, now you can see that it cuts off the corner straight. And now what I found is that, or what I've seen elsewhere, is that you just multiply this by 0.5 to get a proper offset. I was trying to figure out why this is 0.5. I haven't really figured it out. So if you happen to know where that 0.5 is coming from, then let me know in a comment below. But other than that, now we have a nice smooth function here. How cool is that? All right. So, and one other thing that we can do is we can play around with the smoothness over here. And the way to do that is by changing this red function, right? So if this red function was, so right now it's like this, if it was steeper, then it would stay 1 for longer and then like shoot to 0 more quickly. And the way to do that is by just taking, like, because if you remember, this part of the function right here is just this b minus a. Actually, b minus a plus 0.5. So if I could repurpose my k value over here, so my k goes from 0 to 1. So if I leave that at 1, if I just take this b minus a and I divide it by k, so now it just gets divided by 1, so in other words, nothing happens. But if I make this smaller, then it will get divided by a number smaller than 1, so therefore this will get larger, so it will stretch my function. So in other words, this red line will get steeper. So let's see what happens here. So if I move this, now you see that it gets steeper and steeper and steeper. Now the only problem is that my nice roundness gets fucked up, and that is because there should be less and less of an offset that we need to apply. So in other words, this offset thing here needs to also be scaled by the same k value. So if I go back down here, I need to just multiply this. Like, remember, my k is smaller than 0, right? So in order to get this to decrease, I have to multiply this by k. And if I do that, now you see that if I make it smaller, it stays nice and smooth all the way. How cool is that? So let's check this out here. Let's get rid of this thing and rid of that thing. So now you can see that this is a very powerful tool to shape functions. And this k, by the way, it doesn't have to be in the 0, 1 range. It could also be in a larger range. So I could, I don't know, make this go all the way to 5, let's say. And it can also get negative. And you'll see what happens when it goes negative. So if it goes positive, like it just gets smoother and smoother and smoother. If it goes negative, let me just turn these ones on. So it goes all the way to super sharp, to the same thing as my min AB. And then if I go negative, I come out the other side. And now I have a smooth max function. So smooth max, smooth min. So I hope you found this useful. This is very useful in creating many cool effects. I'm sure we'll come up with something later, but for now, see you next time.